Hello there, it's Jen, and it is Friday, March 31st. I can't even believe it is the very last day of March, and it is snowing here in Kingston today. I thought we were done with it, but no, 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 no. Anyways, if you're there, please let me know, and if you are turning around and watching the replay, let me know. I just realized I have the wrong banner on here. Here we go. Hopefully that's better. So I'm just going to check the comments here. Hey, there's Nicole, my sound check person. Hey, Nicole, missed you last week. How are you? Okay, so I have a couple things I want to do. Thanks, Nicole, for that. She's saying it looks and sounds good. But first, you might just want to notice over the corner of my shoulder here, can't point to it, there's the cover of the new catalog. As a demonstrator, we get to see this early. It's only online. I don't have a hard copy yet. But I am making my list out of the people to send those catalogs to. So if you haven't already signed up for my list to get a new catalog, let me know that you want one and I'll get you in there. Okay, so first I want to do the draw. So every week I do a draw. So I'm going to do that first while people are joining me. And what it is I do a draw for the card that I made the week before. And all you have to do is like, comment, or share the post. So you can do the same this week. And then I'll do a draw for the card. So whatever I'm making today, like, comment, and share on this video, and then you'll be in the draw. So I have an automatic thing that pulls your names once you've done that. And then I'm going to make a card today, but it's going to be a nice simple card because I want to spend a little bit of time talking about the retiring list and what all that means, okay? So I say hello to Kathy and Rita and Villa. Welcome, everyone. So let me just start by sharing my screen here. And it's just going to look funny for a second while I grab it. Okay, so here we go. I've got everybody's names in here. Oh, I don't know if I actually put, well, I'll show you the card in a second if it's not already there. So here we go. I need a pen. I'm going to grab a pen, and it's already picked a winner. Nan Goldie. Nan Goldie. Let me just write your name down here. And I'll jump back to, I'm not sure if StreamYard automatically shares. Oh, it does. Good. Perfect. So there we go. You can see the card. Let's just put it right here that we made last week. I say we because I asked for input and you guys gave me input. So this beautiful card using the perfectly penciled Designer Series paper, which is one of the things retiring, sad. And this stamp set too, which I'll show you in a second where that is in the catalog. Okay, so congratulations to Nan. And let's just see, I'm going to share my screen again. And I am going to jump over to my website. Here we go. So this is my website, stampwithjen2ns.com. I'm looking at it on a computer, so it might look a little different on your mobile device. But the first thing that will pop up here will be this little thing here. By the way, I'm actually in the process of researching different styles, so there's going to be a revamp on this at some point. Anyways, if you haven't signed up for my newsletter, here it is here. That'll get you up to date with all things Stampin' Up! And what I'm up to. And then I've got a few little windows here that pop up. The first one here is the last chance and retiring list. So you can click on that, or you can get to it through here, through my blog. Click on blog and you can see the latest posts here. You can scroll down. So I talked about the color refresh. So there are some colors retiring and new ones coming in. So you can see all of that here. And those retiring colors are actually in this post. And the retiring lists are in this post. So let me just click on this for a second. And if you scroll down, there's a couple different ways to see it. And I only do this not to make it confusing, but to make it easier. So the first one is the one I'm going to show you, which is by catalog and page number. So you can click on that and you can download it. You can save it, do whatever you want. Or you can do it alphabetically by product name. Or you can print it by discount, or you can look at it just by discount, because the discounts start next Tuesday. The items are still the same. It's just that there's only discounts starting on Tuesday. So why am I sharing this with you now is because this next part, oops, here we go, I'm back again. Supplies are only available while they last. That's the problem. So you may see something on discount that you want to get, but it might actually not be available by April 4th. So my advice is if you see something you really want, don't wait. Discount isn't worth losing out on it. So, and then I've got a little bit of what you need to order. So there's a copy of the two catalogs that are retiring, the mini catalog and the annual catalog. Also a link to a current code. Unless your order is over $200, then don't use that code, okay? There's a wish list if you want it. And then if you jump here, see my must-haves. It's this next post that I showed you, and I've got everything here by category. So must-have retiring things, my favorites. So this includes all the retiring colors. Plus there's a little picture for you as well of all the retiring colors. So yes, some of them were sad. Mint macaron, bye-bye, Bermuda Bay. But I have seen the new colors. Maybe you have too. We're not actually supposed to show them yet. So if you've seen them, someone's not doing what they're supposed to do. But there are some beautiful colors coming in. But if you do have a favorite here, be sure and check it out. Sahara Sand, using it today. Soul Saffron, using it today. Okay, so, and then my must-have retiring tools, which really there's just one, the Stamparatus. Designer Series paper, well, all of it, of course, but I've picked a few. And same with stamp sets, and there's a picture of them all here too, okay? So just check those things out. I'm scrolling so fast you might spin, so let me just stop the share, and hopefully that helps a little bit with what to look for. Stampin' Up! Has a video that showed the new colors. They do, Nicole, but we're not actually supposed to share it. So again, if you've seen that from other places, that's great, but legally we're not allowed to share it. So I try to play by the rules. Yeah, I mean, because it seems like everyone's sharing it, unless they really stamp down and say, no, 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 I probably will share it in my next newsletter. So, because I'm seeing it all over the place too. They weren't very clear with their rules, even though they were there. So I think people try to push the envelope a little bit. So hello, hello, those of you who are joining me. Grace, Paulette. Okay, Kathy, I'm not sure if I said hi. So let me jump over to the craft table, and I'm going to do a quick little showing more of the retiring stuff, and then I'm going to make a very pretty card. Okay, so let me just take a little sip of water. This is the card that Nan won, so remember to comment, like, and share it on today's video, and then you'll get in. So this is the list that I mentioned that I printed. So you may have seen lists elsewhere, including on the Stampin' Up! Website. This is one that I reformat to put my information on it, and also to take out a lot of the extra stuff that I don't think you need. There is a little legend at the very back that tells you certain things. So there's a few things here where it says it's not actually retiring, but the bundle is. So you can still get the 2 items, but they won't be at the 10% discount. So that's something to watch for. Another few things that might look, well, it looks confusing to demonstrators because we've seen it. Something's retiring, but it's actually not because it's staying in the catalog. It's the type of stamp set. So for instance, when there's a Kling stamp set, and I'm thinking of in particular Silly Goose, I thought it was retiring, but in fact it's only the Kling set that's retiring. The photopolymer one is staying. So there's a few things that might look funny like that. And of course all the colors are here, which is why this is such a big list. So a couple things to note. I've highlighted in blue and green the discounted items. And again, these only start on April 4th. I put that right up here. And so let's just jump. There's some things here at 60%. So the light blue is 60%, or light green, I guess it is. Then what catalog it's in. So I've got a little legend at the top here. Annual catalog or mini catalog, and DSP, of course, stands for Designer Series paper. And then what type of thing it is. So I like this type of list because I like to be able to sit here and go page by page in my catalog. So this is this catalog, and the first page is page 12. And I go to page 12 and I'd say, oh, it's Tea Boutique. And then I mark my catalog with a big R. So I know that that's what's retiring. So I just go through then page by page. So that's why I like this particular list, so that I can do that with my book. And then I just need to look at my book and I can see what's retiring and what's not. So you do whatever you want. If you like an alphabetical list, so you can go, oh, is Soul Saffron retiring? You could look it up alphabetically. So your choice. I've given you a bunch of choices. So let me just check your comments here, make sure I'm not missing anything. Soft Suede is going. I know, Kathy, I know. Soft Suede is going. It is a really great neutral. However, I promise there's actually another one that's coming in that'll be lovely, that will work. But if you're really addicted to Soft Suede, or you have lots of Soft Suede, then make sure you buy the ink refill and get that. Okay, so what I thought I would do is I'd start the back first, because those are some of the interesting things, and then I'll show you just a few of my favorite stamp sets. So Cindy says she loves my file of my reformatted list. Thanks so much, Cindy. Yeah, I like to redo them a little bit. So they're not perfect. I know that they're not as pretty as they could be with some extra lines and stuff, but I wanted to get it out to you. Okay, so what I wanted to show you here, I'm on page 176 and 177 in the annual catalog. This is the only one I'm showing you. I'm not going to show you the mini because there's actually lots of things in the mini that are going to be in the next catalog, which is really nice. But there's a few things, including this gingham folder, which I'm going to use today. Okay, and there's a nice brick wall folder. Brand new folder in the clouds is retiring. Oh no, what's that all about? Okay, so let me just jump to let me try to stick to my post-it note pages. These two are surprising to me. There's the layering circle dies, which includes the circles and the scallops, and they're retiring. And there isn't anything like this in the new catalog. There's a couple of circle punches, but no dies. So if you don't have these, I would totally scoop those up while you can. Same with the layering diorama dies. Those are really fun for a different shape. And I'm surprised they're retiring. So again, scoop those guys up. Okay, punches. Lots of different punches retiring. Not surprising, they often do that. One of my favorites here, Label Me Lovely and Lovely Labels Pick-a-Punch are retiring. Also the hearts are there, so check that out. Of course, the Stamparatus. So of course, demonstrators got a little preview that this was going to happen. And I think there's enough stock right now for people. And this is yeah, it's a bit of a shock because it's a stemming placement tool and there is no replacement coming in the catalog. And all I can say about this is that there was a lawsuit with another company, and any company, so including Stampin' Up, that had a stamping positioning tool. And so I think, although the lawsuit, as far as I understand, was settled, I think Stampin' Up just didn't want to be anywhere, you know, anywhere close to that. So they've just discontinued it. So sadly, maybe we'll get something later. So again, if you don't have this, you should get it because it's really useful. I'll be keeping mine. Okay, accessories. This is page 142. So many accessories retire. This is normal that they bring new things in, which is good. We like new things and we like to have them. But if you've got any favorites, like this one is my absolute favorite, Elegant Faceted Gems. I use these all the time. You guys would have seen them in previous lives. They're retiring. So this is more of those boxes. Specialty papers. Some of the specialty papers are retiring, so check those out on page 139. Okay, and designer series paper, pretty much all of them retire. I don't have them all marked because I didn't get that far, but I think there's nothing that's continuing. So if there's any of those that you love, like the one I used last week, be sure and check those out, okay? Alrighty, first colors. They're on that list I showed you. This one I showed last week and I'm going to show it again today. It's called Limited Edition. This is a stamp set and it is something for the back of your cards, but I'm also going to show you how you can use it on the front of your cards. So check that one out. It's page 119. Also, if you sell your cards, this one has the Copyright Stampin' Up! Logo in it, which is important. Background stamps, again, a lot of them are retiring. Love those butterflies. And they're retiring. They have matching dies too. Okay, so like I said, I'm going to stick to my post-it notes. Okay, so Lighthouse stamp set. This is a great masculine set, or just sort of an any day kind of set. I mean, lighthouses are always just so inspiring. So I'm mentioning that one. I'm seeing all the ones that I'm skipping, and I'm like, eh. I love this rose one, also retiring. Mountain Air. Ugh. Wisteria Wonder. Those of you who get thank you cards from me, this was one of my thank you cards in the past year. This was Wisteria Wishes. Sorry, so pretty. Love this one too. Okay, I'm going to go all over the place here if I don't stick to my post-it notes. Inspired Thoughts. I used that last week. A really great stamp set. Page 77. Nature's Harvest. I actually had a class out with Nature's Harvest, and so that is retiring. So I'll make sure to link up the class so you can make sure you get that before it goes. I love this one, True Beauty, such a pretty stamp set. Also retiring. Plant set. There's plentiful plants. I mean, who doesn't like a plant? This beautiful cottage rose and the matching paper. It's lovely watercolored. It's lovely just stamped in soft colors. Christmas. Am I doing a run-on sentence now? How often do colors retire, Nicole asked, and do stuff retire every year? Yes, to stuff retiring every year. Every time we have a new catalog, stuff is retired. Otherwise, it would be exactly the same catalog, right? So they pull stuff out and they put new stuff in. And there's all sorts of reasons why they do this. By the way, both of these Christmas sets are retiring. I love them. This one has matching dies. Because it could be that it's sold really well, and so they feel it's had its run. It could be that it's sold not enough. It could be that it just doesn't match what the rest of the product line is. It could be because it doesn't fill a gap, or it does fill a gap. There could be all sorts of reasons, so it's not always just sales based why they're retired. And how often do the colors retire? Yes, very good. They don't retire that often. Stampin' Up! Has said 3 to 5 years approximately is when they'll do a refresh. And the last one was 2018. So it's been a little while since they've refreshed. They'll never get rid of all of them all at once. And, you know, one of the colors I'm going to use today, Old Olive, has been a color that's been around for years and years. Same with Real Red is another color that's been around for years. So they don't all go. And of course, here's another Christmassy one. It has a matching Deer Punch. Of course, the in colors go every 2 years. Like every 2 years, there's 5 of those in colors that are refreshed. And I mean, this is a good thing. Oh, this is one of my favorites. Ooh, art gallery. One of the nice things about that is it means that the colors are kept fresh and on trend. And Stampin' Up! Is very, very good at picking out trends and predicting them. And they do all sorts of research, much like fashion houses and stuff do, to find out what those in trendy kind of colors. And I don't know if you've seen the new ones yet. You might have because of some of those videos that have been leaked. But they're all very neutrally palettes, and they're like stuff I'd like to paint my house with. They're very nice and they're very different, which I love. So there's a kitty in this one. So this one was one of my faves. Same with this one. A little cheesy because, you know, it was a little cheesy and a little punny. So I like that one. More plants. I always like the plants because they're not flowers, but they're still plants. Okay, just a couple more and then I'm going to get to crafting, okay? Both of these, I love them. The palm tree one and also the seashells, mostly because it's got all these beautiful sayings and mixed fonts. Daffodil Daydream is the stamp set I'm using today. And I thought I'd use that because April is usually Cancer month and daffodils represent that. But there's also a nice Mother's Day reading in here. I mean, my mother's passed away, but you know, you may have a mother that you want to do that for, but I'm going to put a different saying on it, okay? And then, of course, this one, coffee, cocktails, cookies, chocolate. What's not to love about that? But it's retiring. Okay, so that is my little tour, my very, very quick tour. Anna says she loves the words and inspired thoughts. Me too. That was the one I used last week. So yeah, I love it too. And let me see what else you guys are saying while I pull out this stuff here. Anna is from St. Albert, Alberta. Cool. And Robin is here. Hello, Robin. Okay, so I'm going to start with this gingham embossing folder. I've actually already embossed. I'm going to die cut here, but because this requires a different machine because it's a bigger folder, I've already embossed it. So when you put something like this, here, let me just show you, that's what the gingham folder looks like. This is on the list, gingham. When you put something like this in here that has sort of a pattern that you want to make sure is straight up and down, line it up with this line here on the top of the folder, and then you can also position it so, like in this case, I can see 3, put that down a bit, 3 patterns here. So that will be better. So I go like that. Okay, so I've already done that piece. Let me just move this out of the way. This is Sahara Sand, one of the retiring colors. It's a really nice neutral. And I'm going to use Daffodil Daydream for my stamp set. So, so what I'm going to do here, little itty bitty space. If you've got other questions, please let me know. and I will be happy to answer them. So I'm going to start by folding this in half. This is a piece of 5.5 by 8.5 piece of cardstock. It's basically an 8.5 by 11 piece of cardstock cut in half, and that will form the base of my card. Okay. Then I've got another piece here. This is just a scrap really, but I've sized it to fit into my little mini machine because we're going to cut it after we stamp it. So it is actually 3.5 by 5.5. And I'm going to ink this up with my Memento ink. Now the stamp is large, so I'm inking it upside down. Okay, just to make sure it's well covered. I just got to turn this sideways so I can see what I'm doing here. Okay, and then you want to press firmly, especially with a cling stamp set. It's got that sponge in there, allows you to press firmly and get a great impression. Okay, then I'm also going to stamp. This is a small stamp, so I can do it up. I can do it right side up. The butterfly from that same stamp set. Okay, so that is all from here, from this Daffodil Daydream, and I'm just going to open this up so you can see. It also has dies, matching dies. All of these are retiring. Now I haven't put this together, but there is a daffodil flower that you could put that you don't even need to stamp. It has all the different parts and stems. It's stunning. It actually makes a really pretty paper flower. You can actually make a bouquet of that. But it also has, so here's all these other parts too. It also has the parts that die cut this. So I'm trying to keep this card simple today, and we're just going to die cut out these two pieces. You could use that one too. I've mentioned this before, but I love a stamp set that has a little splatter in it because this is always great for using little doing accent pieces on there. So I've already got one here that's dry because you want this to dry for a minute. I'm just going to move these guys out of the way. Hold on a second. Taking a sip of water, and Paulette says she always makes a Mother's Day card for my sisters. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, you know what? Mothers can be all sorts of different kinds of mothers, right? I'm a dog mother, right? This is new for me. Just moving stuff out of the way here. Okay, so I'm going to color, and I'm going to bring in my blends markers to color. I've got lots of them here. Okay, so there are actually only a couple sets. I've got pumpkin. Oh, where's my dark pumpkin? Here it is. And I've got So Saffron, and I've got Daffodil Delight. So the only color that's retiring here is the So Saffron. It is a really pale yellow. Apparently I have, that's like Daffodil Delight. So I'm going to start with that, the light So Saffron. It's got a little bit of an orange tinge to it, which is why I thought it would be good for the daffodils anyways. I am kind of sad about this color. It's been around. The whole time I've been a demonstrator, it has been around, and I've been a demonstrator for 20 years. So this is one of those colors that never retired. So interesting that they're retiring it now. But I don't probably use it as often as I used to. So again, Stampin' Up! Probably has it right in that, you know, maybe it's time. But it is like a sort of a very light yellow with like a little bit of an orange tinge to it. So it is kind of perfect for these flowers. So I know I'm not doing any fancy coloring just yet. In fact, I'm really not going to do any fancy coloring today because I wanted to keep this card simple. I've spoken to a few newer clients recently and newer demonstrators, and they all say that they prefer simple cards. So I thought, okay, I'm going to make sure I'm always doing a few simple. So there we go, first layer of color. Now I'm going to take, I don't even need the dark, I'm going to take my dark, my light Daffodil Delight. I'm trying to remember what I did. And I'm going to just add some darker color near where it would be darker, near the base of the flower. I'll hold this up so you can see. It's very subtle, not much difference between this flower and this flower, but there's a little bit there. Nicole says she likes simple cards too, so let me just finish this. I actually think I might just jump to the dark right away because I'm not seeing a whole lot of difference there. Whoops, just knocked the computer. So I'm going to just add that dark in there. And again, you don't have to do this if you don't want to, but it's pretty easy with these markers to create some definition. So let me just hold that up so you can see hopefully the difference with this one over here. And then I'm going to take my light Daffodil Delight and just blend that out again so it doesn't look like harsh lines. This I find is actually really relaxing to do this. Okay, so right away that flower looks way more colored than it did originally. So let me just add a little bit of a dark on here. This one, this flower is facing backwards, as it probably naturally would in a garden. Okay, so now I'm going to take the pumpkin pie, the light, and I actually looked up flowers, daffodils, before I started coloring this, and there are all different colors of daffodils. So I'm choosing to do the ones that are yellow petals with kind of an orange interior. You can't really see that one there. So I'll hold that up so far. And then I'm going to take the dark pumpkin pie and I'm going to color this part down here dark. So I feel like that little part would be darker, more intense. And there might be a little bit of that poking through there. And I want to keep that middle part really yellow, so I'm going to just go back over with the dark daffodil. And then I really want to make sure that the edges of those petals are really light. So I'm going to take my color lifter. This is a great tool to use if you've made a mistake, because it just lifts the color up. But I'm just going around the edges of the petals here and really lightening them up. So it's just a little hint of that orange. Pretty, eh? Okay. Oh, well, I should have done this guy too. So let me just do that really quick. Here's the light pumpkin pie. What is everyone doing this weekend? Okay, and then I'm going to take the dark pumpkin pie and there we go. Cindy, I see that you said something about you'd like actually my file. I don't really share those, but message me and tell me what you're thinking. Okay, so I've got the light old olive. And I'm going to start coloring. So you can see with that tip, you can get in there quite finely. So this is light old olive. Like I said, this is a color that has been around for a long time. And I love it. It's one of my go-to greens, especially for anything floral. I also do like granny apple green. And one of the colors that's retiring is Pear Pizzazz. And it is like a lighter version of old olive. So if that's a color you like, then make sure you stock up on it. And like I said, I wouldn't really wait for, I don't know if that's a leaf or a start of a bud. It might be a start of a bud. Maybe I'm going to color that a different color. Okay, so that's a light old olive, and I'm going to take the dark. Yeah, I wouldn't wait for any sales unless it's just kind of a I'll only get if it's on sale. But if it's something you really want, don't wait, because I really fear things will sell out. So I'm just coloring the stems a darker. And I'm going to go there, and then I'm going to add maybe a little bit of darkness here. I could color those with two tones if I wanted to. Maybe I'll just add a little bit there. And well, let's go with the dark. I feel like the bud would probably be darker. And I'm going to just blend that a little bit out. Okay, and here, and that little bit there, that I'm going to just blend that out. I hope that was the light color. It is the light color. Okay, so, and I'm just going to go in underneath the flowers and just add a little bit of darkness wherever they are, just because they might actually be dark. Let me hold this up. I think it's colored. What do you think? Is it pretty? Okay, so bringing in, it's already looking so pretty, Bella says. Thank you. So I'm bringing in my little boss, as I call it. And I've got my plates here. It tells you exactly what to do on here. So I'm using plate 1, plate 3, or sorry, plate 2, and plate 2 going in here like this. And I gotta find my stamp set and the dies. Here they are. So I need this one. And I need the butterfly. Here we go. These are all falling all over the place. You go over there and don't hide on me. Okay. This is gonna go in here like this. Now, you guys know that I love this tape. This is a tape that I have on my website under Jen Recommends under products. It is a removable tape, and I love using this to hold this on because we don't have a magnetic platform. So, and I don't always show this, but I thought today I would show cutting this out rather than coloring it ahead of time and cutting it out after. Okay, so we can do the butterfly at the same time. I'm going to take that on there. So that'll come off. It won't wreck the paper. Now, I think I've shown you this before, but you need to have this in kind of an E shape. So we need our, this middle plate. Hold on. I'm going to make sure I can see. There we go. So see, this is like an E. So the middle plate is like the middle letter. And then this one. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. In order for it to kick in. Oops, I've got it now turned the wrong way. Okay. Because last time I did this, it didn't go so well on camera. So here we go. That's the way. Away we go. And pop. Okay, just get this out of the way. And this. Rita says, gorgeous. Thank you, Rita. I'm going to look at all your other comments after. So you could actually reuse that tape if you wanted to. I've got a little magnet on the side here. I'm just going to stick my dies to it so that they don't go anywhere on me. Villa's here. Villa knows that I lost a die for like months. And finally I found it when I cleaned my room. Well, to move my room, I found it. Okay, so I've got all these other papers here. This. And I'm missing my white. Isn't that interesting? I'll have all the colors to this. Hold on. I'm coming. Okay. It'll turn into a cutting lesson. I just dropped the butterfly on the floor. So, to make a quarter sheet of anything, you would go 5.5 by 4 1/4, but because I want it to be a matte layer, I'm going to go in 1/4 of an inch. So it's 5 1/4 by 4. Okay, that's going to form the perfect border. When you sign up for my newsletter, I actually give you those measurements. Okay. I'm going to see if I can find that butterfly before it goes away. Excuse me while I grunt. Okay, let's see here. Let's put this together. Don't need that tape anymore. Oh, before I put it together, this is important. This is a good tip for making your card. So it's going to go like this. The embossed piece is going to go here, and this is going to go here. So I'm going to stamp a little greeting, and it's going to go down here. So before I attach everything on, I'm going to stamp the greeting first. Because if I make a mistake, then I can move things around. So I'm going to use this limited edition. This is the one that you might stamp on the back of your card, and I'm going to use this. A paper hug from me. I thought it was just so cute for the front of a card. I've already put away my olive pad. So here we go. Okay, so Old Olive. And I've got all this just laying here so I can see where I want that to go. So I'm going to put it right, oops, make sure this paper's straight. And sometimes I try my sayings out first on scrap to see how they're going to stamp. Okay, so that looks pretty good. So I'm happy with that. So now I can glue it all down. Okay, so one of the things I wanted to show you from the annual catalog too is this combination of Sahara Sand and Old Olive Ribbon. It's also retiring. It comes in a pack like that. So I'm going to use the Sahara Sand, but I could have used olive actually too. It would have worked. So let's put all this together. So I'm using our Stampin' Seal here. And see, we did our nice 1/8 of an inch, 1/4 of an inch border. Cut, so it makes a 1/8 of an inch border. Oh my goodness. And this gingham, you could pick which side you want. I actually think I like that side better. And what I'll do is I'll try hard to get a post up with this card and all the bits and pieces on it. Because like I said, there are a few retiring things on here. Okay, so dimensionals we're going to use on the back of this. I think this one will just fit. Oh, I almost could have used a mini one there. And I'm going to check out your comments there in just a second. So dimensionals are great, even if you're a beginner crafter, because it's just something that adds a little extra to your card. Just making sure that one can't be seen. Just that little lift. Put it there. A paper hug from me. So cute. I'm going to take this ribbon. Now you could leave it off. This card is cute as it is right now. But I'm going to add a little ribbon. And the way I tie my ribbon is I just tie a little bow, ugly to start, and then I start pulling on the ends and the top in order to get it looking nicer. And I leave it on the spool so that I don't waste any extra ribbon. And then I'm going to take scissors that I designated for ribbon only. I've got a little tag on them. And then I'm going to cut them, and that keeps them nice and sharp. Always cut it on an angle. And we're going to grab some glue dots. It's all about the adhesive, people. You can see I've used 3 different kinds here. I've used dimensionals, my seal, and now I'm using my glue dots. Right kind of adhesive for the product that you're using. So I'm going to just pick these up here. 1, I'm going to put the 2. I'm going to put it right there. It's got a little faux bow, if you like. It's not attached. So that's cute, isn't it? But let's add the butterfly too. I had left it simple, and then I started adding things to it because, you know, that's what we do. I think I need the mini dimensionals for this. Let me grab some of those. This is the mini ones. This is very tiny. Okay, I'm going to add that in here. Of course, now I got to bling it up, right? Got to bling it up. Oh, another thing that's retiring. These are the pearls. And I guessed hard when I saw that they were retiring. But the good news is, even though they're retiring, the one thing that isn't retiring is the iridescent version of these. So if you love pearls, I think I'll just put one on it this time. Then there's still going to be some in the catalog. It's just that they've got an iridescent shine to them. So, I mean, I probably wouldn't use them for sympathy cards maybe, but for other things it might be just fine. Okay, so I've got here my Wink of Stella. This is the other little thing I love to add to cards. You probably can't even see this. You know, I'll just show you all my finished cards. So anyways, there's my card, and I've got another one that's finished, so I'll show you. It's very pretty. This could easily be a Mother's Day card or any kind of you know, spring April-y type card. So here's my other one that I did before. So this one does have the Wink of Stella in here and here. Again, the camera may or may not pick up that glimmer. And this one I did do 2 pearls on the butterfly, which possibly is nicer. We'll see. So there you go. What do you think? So let me just see what your comments are saying. Beautiful card, Grace says. Thank you. Gorgeous coloring, Rita says. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. I'm just making sure that we'll have to watch the replay as I'm late. No problem. I always save it. It's always here on Facebook, also on YouTube. Just taking a sip of water. Okay, folks, I think that's it. We're done. So make sure you like, comment, and share. And I'll make sure this card is available next week. And I'll have something more. If you have any questions about the retiring list, please just let me know. And I'm happy to give you a hand out with that, okay? Oops, I should have put my face back on. So I'm going to say goodbye. Have a lovely weekend, everyone. Take care, and I will see you next week. Bye-bye now.